Hey, what's going on everyone? Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing great and are stoked for the new possibilities 2018 is bringing. Today's video is actually going to talk about one of these possibilities, and it's an upcoming horror game some of you might be familiar with. The game is called Today is My Birthday. It's an upcoming first-person horror game made by Wonder Game Studio in Russia. The story centers on Thomas, who as a young lad would go to Wonder Park with his father each year on his birthday. Several years later, Thomas, now a grown man and down on his luck battling depression, has lost his father due to cancer. Thomas decides to return to the old amusement park to honor their tradition, but when he arrives, he discovers that the park has been shut down and things aren't what they seem behind the locked gates. Armed with only a portable camera, you the player must use your wits and parkour skills to outrun and outmaneuver several villains you will encounter along the way. Some of these villains include the chainsaw-wielding Vernon Ritcher, who is a former custodian of the park. You all may have seen him in the previous trailer for the game, and Barty Gimble, who was a former ringmaster before the park was shut down. While you're avoiding a slew of villains, you'll be solving the mystery of the abandoned amusement park, and possibly rescuing some missing people. Oh, and by the way, the music you're listening to is from the game itself and composed by Wonder Studios' very own Kai Undril. So if you're curious about the game's atmos, this will give you an idea. So as you can tell from the gameplay footage you see here and some of the new concept art, the game has been updated. And I'm here to share with you guys Wonder Game Studio announcement of their Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign, which they started yesterday. Now in the campaign site, they revealed a new trailer and 7 minutes of gameplay. Now if you'd like to back the game, here are the tiers available to you. Now the first tier is the thank you reward. You get a heartfelt thank you from the company, a personal thank you in the game credits, and the demo of the game, which is set to release April 2018. I repeat, the demo for this game is going to release in April 2018. So if you're curious about the game and want to try it out before making a full purchase, this is a good tier for you. Now the next tier is the visitor tier. For $10, you get to be acknowledged as backer in the credits, and you get the full game. This is the featured tier on the Indiegogo page, so if you'd like to get your hands on an affordable game, this is a good tier for you. The next level tier is the fan tier for $20. At this level, you'll have access to the demo and the full game, and you'll be listed as a backer at the end credits. And you get a personal thanks for Wonder Game Studios. This next stage and beyond is where we start getting players placed inside the game. For the price of $50, you will be a notable customer. At some point in the game, your name will appear. It's unclear right now as to how this will work, but it could be your personal name, business name, or even a YouTube channel name or Twitch channel name, so food for thought on that one. You will also receive the full game once it is released, and you'll get early access to the comic book, The Wonders of Wonder Park, a digital comic that is said to dive into the history of the theme park and provide a backstory into how it became the nightmare that players are finding themselves in. Now the following tier for $100 is called the VIP, where you will be an actual missing person in the game. Players will be able to submit a photo of themselves, and that photo will be brought into the game, and it will say missing at the very bottom. So in total, you'll have a photo of yourself that you'll be seen in the game, you get an additional mention of you in the game, you'll get early access to the comic, you'll be listed as a backer in the credits, and you get the full game once it's released. If you'd like to be a partner in the project for $500, you will receive everything listed in the previous tiers, plus merchandise for the game once it comes out, like baseball caps and t-shirts, and you get to be a beta tester for the game. At $1,000, you get everything in the previous tiers, from the merchandise, the in-game mention, missing person photo, the comic book access, the full game, beta test access, and you'll be an official tester for the game. There isn't too much detail regarding this position, but if you're curious about it, you can email the studio with your questions and they will answer them. Wonder Game Studio has been very cooperative with answering my emails, so I'm sure they will respond to any questions you guys might have. Now the last tier is at $3,000. Here you get everything I've already mentioned, and you get to have your own character model in the game. Whether this is a missing person NPC or a villain remains to be determined. But for those who want to be immortalized in a video game, this is only available to 5 people. One thing I want to point out is that the game footage you see here has been made without any crowdfunding support. The developers are trying to make the game better, and that's why they're asking the public's help. Now the goals of the crowdfunding project are the following. At $15,000, they can launch the game. That is the basic campaign goal. At $25,000, the comic book titled The Wonders of Wonder Park will be made available for digital download, and it will dive into the history and origins of the park and most likely some of the characters you will encounter. At $35,000, the game can be made available to several other languages outside of English and Russian. And finally, at $50,000, t-shirts and baseball caps will be designed. If you'd like to get your hands on an affordable game and see if the other tiers interest you, check out Wonder Game Studios' Indiegogo crowdfunding page in the description below. I'll leave a link right there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. And did you guys like the new villain they've announced? What excites you most about this game? And what did you think of the new footage? I hope you enjoyed the video, happy 2018, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.